There it is. That's the trick on these Super Duties. Here's what she's gonna look like on this side. Coilover and the auxiliary shock. It is winter all of a sudden, and I got some hot coffee out here, but it is freezing cold. Gonna try to make some progress on the 6.7 Powerstroke. In my last video about it, I took apart the radius arm and the coil spring and everything to get ready for the 4-link and coilovers. So I want to finish that up, and I've also kind of tried to spare y'all a little bit because my eye's real bloodshot and looks nasty from blowing my nose too hard. But I'm gonna try to get this thing done, and new rear leaf springs, everything, all lift kit stuff done on it, so I can steal some parts from it. The original stock leaf springs are going to be going into the truck behind it, so I want to get that thing done. And then once I have a drivable old Ford 1967 crew cab, so that'll be a whole other long project. Once that thing's done, I'm gonna dive back into this full speed and try to get this thing done and perfect. So gonna be quite a bit of truck stuff going on. It's about 38 degrees out here and I got shorts on, so let's get after it. Seems like the next step is to take this bump stop off, and normally you would be installing a spacer for that, but because I'm gonna be doing some Fox hydraulic bump stops, I'm gonna just leave that off for now and figure out a way to get the hydraulic ones up in here in the future. Half my tools are still in my Bronco from the trip, so I'm gonna try to use a breaker bar and just a ratchet, and I get that bolt out, but I also need to pull this off. So let's see if we can do that. Yeah, might need both hands for that one. There we go. Not too bad. Some other things I need to do, since I'm doing kind of 2 kits at the same time, a 4-link kit and a coilover kit, I'm gonna have to cut this top part where the coil seats in there so I can bolt the coilover mount, as well as unbolt this bottom coil spring mount to bolt at the coilover mount. Also have to take this big ready lift drop bracket and the factory bracket off so I can bolt in the 4-link kit here, so that's gonna be pretty noisy. I'm missing one of my bolts from the radius arms where I put a extension in there because I couldn't get it all lined up right while I had it half done. And I don't know what I did with it, so I'm gonna keep an eye out for that. And I didn't think I was gonna reuse it, but it seems like it's the only bolt I need to reuse. So this is the ready lift part for the 3.5-inch kit. So we'll be replacing this and the factory bracket that's riveted on the whole bigger piece for the 4-link kit. On the driver's side, I used a grinder to make an X in these, and then chiseled them off with a pneumatic hammer. But on this one, I'm going to try to center punch these with this hardened, prick punch here, center punch, and then hammer those like I just did there and drill these out. So I'm going to try to use just this step drill bit that progressively gets bigger and just see if I can drill out part of the head and make it a little bit easier to chisel those off, because the grinder is super loud, takes a while, and it is very hot and messy. So let's see how this goes. So here's what we're working with currently. It's getting there. Add a little fluid film for lubrication there. I put this stuff on everything. Well, as much as I'm trying to angle it down and to the right, it keeps walking up to the top left, so not very centered. And probably just gonna go back to cutting the heads off. I've seen you could do a hole saw and drill part of the head off, but, or just like a, you know, a spot weld removal bit kind of thing. There's different bits that are better for this, but trying to use what I got. We got some sparky sparks. Well, I've got my biggest helper out here to get work done, and we can see here I've put a couple X's in these rivet heads so we can chisel them off. That's going to be super loud though, so I might try to find something else to do while he's out here, but he just got up for a nap and demanded that he come out here and help. So his mama got him all dressed up and he's ready for action. So let's get something together here, or something apart, and then work on getting this 4-link in here, or the coilover. Maybe we'll take this mount off and get the new coilover mount in there. All right, I think we're ready to go now. We're gonna take this line off of here. I think that's the ABS. Yeah, pretty sure that's the ABS.
Go in the dirt.
You wanna go in the dirt?
Yeah.
That's a great idea. That sounds fun.
You don't do that.
Don't do what?
I want to in a...
All right, we got little man's headphones on. He thinks he's taking a picture. I got some on too for him to think it's cool. And then we're gonna try to impact out. Whoa, watch out, coming through. I'm gonna try to take out this bolt up here. It's not coming out, Hank. All right. Are you driving? All right, I think we got it with the breaker bar here. Let's see. Now I got one hand. There we go. So here's the old coil bracket there for the bottom part of the coil spring. And then once I clean up this area here, you can see the new coilover mount will be going in. And if y'all don't remember from previous videos, here's what she's gonna look like on this side. Here, I've already got the coilover and the auxiliary shock. You can see that mount there, as well as the upper mount that's gonna have to go on. A little bit of cleaning up to do where I took this thing off-roading, but should be pretty nice when this thing's done. A lot of nice parts on it. At this point, I've been wailing on these rivets for 3 different days, a little bit at a time. You can see I'm using the Big Chief air hammer from Harbor Freight, and I've got a little bit of a flat tip there at this point with the punch. And I got the heads off. Wasn't the hardest, but getting these through is just not cooperating. Let me move my light a little bit, but you can see I've tried drilling down into the center to give the head of the punch somewhere to go without expanding out the rivet itself. I've just kind of went to town on this one. Looks like that Terminator movie where the guy is made out of liquid metal or whatever, and that's not coming out. None of these are moving at all. So I'm starting to wonder, as much as I've grinded the head off, after cutting the head off, I've grinded this down very deep to make sure there was no like lip sticking up. I think maybe this bracket has a slightly larger hole in it than the frame did, and the whole rivet swelled and is keeping this from going through the frame, in which case I'm gonna have to take the bracket off by like using the same, you know, chisel bit and kind of separating it, and then try to drive them through. But even then, they're gonna be expanded, so I'm gonna have to grind them down more. And I'm trying to remember what the heck we did on this side. I cannot get these to come out. I think we ended up using a big sledgehammer and a giant punch, but I want these to come out, and I'm having a hard time with it, so I'll keep you posted. One rivet remaining. Almost there. Got that one out for sure. It kind of popped back into place. Got one of them halfway on here. There it is. Okay, hopefully that was just keeping the rivet from coming through the frame. Now if I drill a hole in the rivet again, hopefully I can punch it through without it swelling, because what I don't want is it to turn to a mushroom again, then have to grind it down completely to the frame. I'm already gonna have to clean up my frame a little bit where I got carried away with the chisel, which is what I was trying not to do, trying to just punch it through here, but it just does not want to go through the bracket and the frame at the same time. These are some big fat steel rivets. Starting with the one I already drilled a hole into, let's see if that idea works. Yeah, seems like I'm gonna have to grind these down flush to here, then punch them through, which might take a while, but I gotta clean this surface up anyway. Wish me luck. That one looks kind of crooked in there. I think that hole was a little bit bigger. I think that's what it is. These are swollen a little bit. Or maybe I hit them so much they swelled up. Doing the prick punch and some drilling will hopefully keep the air chisel like going right in that center spot. I don't want it bouncing all around and beating my frame up, even though it's going to be underneath the bracket. I just don't want anywhere for moisture to hang out. All right, that's gonna have to be good enough, and some primer. We'll have to fill in the rest. I don't want to go too deep and then have a low spot there, but you can see I hit the frame a couple spots there. Obviously that'll be underneath the bracket, but I just don't like that, so I tried my best to avoid it. Still did it on one of them, also down here too, so two of them, but hey, she came out pretty clean. That's what it took. Had to get the bracket off and then go through one piece of metal at a time. Going through the frame and the bracket at the same time was just not working out. didn't on either side. I was hoping it would be easier on this one. It just was not. So that's the trick on these Super Duties. You got to get that bracket off, cut the heads off again, and then do a little alcohol on it. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put some primer on it. I was gonna wait until I cleaned up the rest of the axle and did all that at the same time, but I don't really know how long it's gonna take, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put some primer on it, because I usually do about one little mini project per week, so it could take a while before I get there. And it would be nice to get this bracket on soon. I just need to paint it black underneath here, which for that I'm gonna use Eastwood chassis black. And I should get some primer from them, but I currently have some just Rust-Oleum primer I'm gonna put on there and just call it good, because it's gonna be underneath the bracket and I just want it to have some paint there. So let me know what y'all think about that. Here's one rag, here's another. Pretty clean. The exhaust, that can get a little paint on it. We're gonna probably change that up soon. About now I want to grab my respirator, because this stuff stinks, but I'm gonna get out of here. Just filling it all in, you know. And I did get some on my nice powder coated bracket. Alright, 3 songs and a lot of shaking later. I'm gonna put some black on here. We got little man learning how to drive a Bluetooth manual in here, and have him listening to the good stuff. Oh, I dropped my broom. But I gotta sweep up the mess I made, all the rivets and all that good stuff. But got the good stuff playing. Let me turn that off for Hank Jr. comes after me for copyright. But anyway, we got this painted up last night. I ended up painting it, as you probably saw, and it looks good. I'm pretty happy with that. That spun right in my face. Okay. All right, the old Harbor Freight light there. So real bright light should be very unflattering on my paint job, but as you can see,
Me broken.
it's broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you gonna fix it?
Nope.
Nope, me either. All right, so we're gonna check this out. It's pretty good. It looks good with that bright white light on it, and this is all gonna get covered up with the bracket there. So, oh, you decided you are gonna fix it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I go through moments like that too. All right, so it's gonna have a big bracket like this on it, and you're not gonna see it. And I did the same thing over here. You can kind of see my overspray, pretty decent. So we'll get that rig in there and start doing 4-link brackets and stuff. Make sure we follow the instructions a little bit, but feeling good about that. Are you feeling good? Uh-huh. He's gonna have the carburetor rebuilt in that thing in no time, it looks like. You can see again, this is the old bracket I took off the truck. I've been hunting around for the new one, and it was in the back of my truck. I just set it here so y'all can see it, but it's been in here with some newly powder coated parts of my new drive shaft for the 6.7 Powerstroke. So gonna get that dusted off and slapped in there. Also, talk about using every inch you got. I got the crew cab long bed right up against the shop with the old van roof donor for that rig right behind it, and then this thing is right by the door. Look, these two trucks are right next to each other. All right, come here, back up. We gotta close the door. talk about precision, getting every inch of my suburban yard utilized to get this stuff in here. So I got a haircut if y'all haven't seen that yet. So fresh haircut, and let's get this thing on here before he has to go to bed so he can say he helped me with it. All right, we got Hank up here so he can help hand me bolts.
I have some bolts.
Yep, you're gonna hand me bolts. Here, I need a bolt.
This is Hanky's bolts.
Yep, those are Hanky's bolts. All right, give me a bolt, please.
Awesome.
Can I have that one? Yep.
I have that one. I have
one.
Can I
Can I have another bolt?
Yeah.
Thank you. Trying to scratch up my paint too much. I already scratched a little bit. All right.
I have
More
that
bolts.
one. It's sticky.
It is sticky. Yeah, I put some corrosion stuff on it so they don't rust. So we're going to have to wipe them hands.
I need napkin.
Yes, you do. Good thinking. All right. Will that hang there?
I need napkin.
Yeah, let me put a nut on it.
No.
Yeah, we're going to get you. We got some baby wipes in here for you.
Baby wipes.
Baby wipes. Yeah, can I get it up in here? Oh, no, that ain't too bad. Okay. Need to get some little mechanics gloves for you. Thank you. That's perfect. Yep, that's exactly what I need. But yeah, don't fall off that table. Hold still.
And wrapping. Here you go.
Thank you. 1 second, please. All right. Yep. There we go.
Here. I can use them in my hair.
Yep. Using your hands, that's a good thing.
Yes.
Okay. Those, I'm not ready for that one yet because I got to put some more bolts in. So just give me a second.
Here you go.
Yeah, can you just hold that for me till I'm ready? Well, this one I might need to stick my tongue out to get that one in right there. Yeah, there we go. Oop, oop, oop. Is that broken? Grounding wire looks tired on that thing. Yeah, one is gonna go right there, you're right. We're gonna put a big one right there. All right, here. So I need to put one, I'm gonna put some in up here. So I'll take that nut from you. Yeah, can I have that?
Yes.
That's a bolt, I need a nut.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank
Thank you, I got my nut stuck to my washer, ready to go. Hands too fat.
And that one.
Oh, yep, just a minute. Actually, I need a bolt now. You got a bolt? I need a bolt and then a nut.
Here you go.
Yep, that's a nut. Can I have a bolt?
Oh.
Thank you.
Oh.
Goes right there. Get in there. Where's the hole? Lines up pretty good.
Yes.
Yes, it does. All right, last bolt. Thank you, and then you can hand me the nut. Let me find where it goes. There it is.
Where's the nut?
I'll take the nut. You got it in your hand. Can I have it? Left hand. Can I have it? Look at your other hand. There it is. Thank you. My hand doesn't fit in here with this exhaust.
Yeah.
Wait for it. All right. Those get torqued to 90 foot-pounds. We'll do that in a little bit. But thank you for the help, Hank. Let's wipe your hands off. I got something better than a baby wipe. A little Gojo action. All right. Good job with the nuts and bolts. You knew exactly what I meant. All right. You want a fist bump? You want to say boom?
Boom.
Boom.
Hey.
Yeah, boy.
Beep-bop. Beep-bop.
Got these snug down with the impact, and you shouldn't tighten or torque from the head of the bolt like I'm doing, but there's not really a way to get torque wrench up in here, so that's what I'm gonna do. I've got it set to 95 just because I'm torquing from the head, and I want to make sure it's good and tight. wrench is starting to hurt my hand there. Got my hand stuck in between the exhaust and everything else. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. Pretty dang tight. I don't know if y'all can see how bloodshot my eye is, but I blew my nose too hard and it looks terrible. Wish I had a cooler story for you. Been trying to keep it out of the video to save you the horror. Alright, I'm gonna do that a bunch more times. Alright, so those are good and torqued, and the next thing would be to install the 4-link arms, which includes putting the bushings in them and the little grease fittings. But, like I said, my axle's pretty dirty, and I would like to go ahead and clean that up before I, do all that. It'd be a lot easier to get to it without it. You can see I did kind of a before and after kind of deal here, where I took my Eastwood Contour SCT tool and kind of cleaned up the axle, and then painted it with the Eastwood chassis black. So I want to do the same thing over here and finish it up, and then ultimately just get everything looking nice and new. It's a 100,000 mile truck, but these are some solid axles. This old Dana 60's got plenty of life left in it, and just upgrade some of the wearable parts, ball joints, U-joints, brakes, and all that good stuff. But also going to change out the fluid. So that's what I got coming up next. I'm going to start cleaning this up and then work on getting this 4-link in. It's a little bit late and cold to start sanding and painting the axle, but I'm gonna go ahead and put these grease fittings in. Actually, I've gone ahead and done that here, and then I've greased up my bushings and everything here, so I'm gonna try to slap these in. It's looking good so far. Oh yeah, that went right together, like a glove. Copy, paste. I'm stoked to get these in the truck, but gotta get the axle right first, or else I'm gonna be retracing my steps. Due to it getting late, it's getting cold, and I have to work 24 hours tomorrow, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, but really stoked to make a little bit of progress. As you can see, I take about 1 bolt out per day and put 1 bolt in per day, so really slow, but as I've mentioned in the past, I work full-time active duty in the Coast Guard, and then I've got 2 kids and a wife and a side hustle business to run, so this is kind of just something I'm gonna chip away at until it's done. And then with having 2 main projects going on here, plan on keeping those forever, and then buy and sell a few things after that once things slow down and I'm not doing crazy resto mods and all that. But excited to just get this thing done and bring it in here to change the oil and do normal stuff like that. So y'all stay tuned. Gonna be a long time coming, but just gonna keep chipping away at it. I'll keep y'all updated on the other projects, the Cat Eye Chevy and the more interesting, easy to drive and actually use stuff. So with that, I'm gonna go edit this on duty and try to get this up for y'all this week. Thank y'all so much for watching. Sorry you had to look at my eye. It's super gross looking, but it doesn't hurt. And I'm excited to get some progress done. So thanks again for checking it out. I'll be back.